Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to my channel. My name is Cerise Fairfax, and I am so glad you're here. I have to say to you, my gosh, there has been a lot going on in the Dominican Republic, and of course, a lot with this topic, Airbnb. I have had so many of you contact me about Airbnbs, and I'm glad that I'm the one helping you out. I know how important it is for you guys to be able to come here and make a passive income on one of the most popular ways to make money in the Dominican Republic, and that is real estate. Now, whether you are buying it because you want to rent it out, or whether you are buying it because you want to build something on it and live in it yourself as a retirement property, or have your family visit it throughout the year, or whether you are doing what this topic is about, renting it and then renting it out again. So like subleasing it. That is one of the things that a lot of people are asking me about. So we're going to cover a couple of topics here today. Now, these are very important when it comes to Airbnb. A lot of people have been asking me. One of the number one questions is, if they buy something here, like a condominium, can they rent it out on Airbnb? A few people actually asked me, is it possible to do that? Because some people have been hearing that it is not possible. That is not true. You can definitely rent out your place on Airbnb. It's not illegal. A lot of people have been contacting me and they're saying, Cerise, I heard that if I buy a property, I cannot rent it out on Airbnb. That is not true. It simply is not true. The reason why is because there are a lot of properties here in the Dominican Republic that are rented out on Airbnb. Now, there are some buildings that may not allow it, and those are most likely some really high exclusive end condos that just don't want people in and out all the time. Different people may be going in and disrespecting the building and maybe not respecting the tenants in the building as well who live there full term, long time. Okay, so those are going to be different exceptional cases. Absolutely. You may have to ask the person, the real estate agent that you're buying from, or perhaps the person that is selling it to you, whether it's a homeowner, you may have to ask them if there is anything against you starting an Airbnb. So, of course, there are going to be a few places that are totally against it. But I will tell you to keep this in mind. Don't allow that to distract you from the reality of it all, because most people realize that this is the number one destination in the Caribbean. And on top of that, as it being a number one destination in the Caribbean, that means that a lot of people are buying for the reason to rent out. A lot of people are not able to live here because they are maybe not old enough to retire, or maybe they don't have enough savings to retire, or maybe they're just not interested in retiring right now, or maybe it's just not an option at all in their life. Maybe they don't want to retire, but they do want to have some type of a passive income via real estate in the Dominican Republic. So yes, don't allow yourself to be discouraged through rumors. One of the main ways that you can make money here is by buying a property and renting it out, whether it's an apartment or a house. Can you sublease? Yes, you can. Now, the last video that I made about this, about how to start your own Airbnb here in the Dominican Republic, a couple of people actually commented in the comments saying, you shouldn't do that. It's not fair. Now, I had to ask them, really, why isn't it fair? Number one, especially if the landlord gives permission. That's what you need to do first. Get the permission from the landlord, because without that permission, you're going to get yourself into some hot water. You can't just go anywhere and rent a place out and then put it on Airbnb without permission first, for many reasons. One, you may get some type of tenants that are very unreliable, irresponsible, and end up destroying the place, and then you are responsible for that place, and you can get into a lot of trouble for that if you didn't ask for permission first. Number two, if you don't ask for permission first and you pay, let's say, your rent up for a year. A lot of people come down here and they're like, they want to pay for 6 months straight, like flat. And then they want to pay for a year flat, like right out, because it's so inexpensive, some of the rents, and they want to pay it all at once. So you may get kicked out of your place if you sublet it without permission, and you won't get any of your money back. So keep those two factors in mind, why you should always ask the tenant, the landlord, why you should always ask the landlord. Okay. Now, I always ask the landlord. So if you get an apartment from me and I say that it can be Airbnb, I ask the management, who most likely is either the owner or they are working for the owner and they have permission to be able to rent it out to you as a subleaser. It's not a problem. And the videos that I do put out of these places that are subleased, the owners have watched them. Okay, so just to let you know that. Now, again, I want to reiterate, you may buy a property and they will say to you that you cannot Airbnb it. So you have to make sure that you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed if that is what your intention is. But keep in mind as well, because it is the #1 destination in the Caribbean, a lot of people know that you are buying that property to be able to rent it out. Now, if you are wondering, okay, you don't necessarily want to put it on Airbnb, but you do want to rent it, you can definitely do that. Even in buildings where you buy your condo, if you cannot put it on Airbnb, you can still rent it out. Okay, you are still allowed to rent out your property. Now, that might consist of the following: somebody renting out your place for a month, somebody may be renting out your place for 6 months, maybe 3 months, maybe a year. Okay, they are signing a lease for a specific time. Airbnb is generally short-term people. So people going in for about a day, 3 days, normally, typically no more than a week, right? We can agree on that. Typically, people are coming from Airbnb and they are most likely doing a week stint or 2 week stint, generally no more than a month. And if they are staying about a month, then they are not looking for just, Airbnb, a bed and breakfast. They are looking for an apartment. Here, a month is considered somewhat of a long term, not necessarily long term any longer. About 3-4 years ago, a month was a pretty long stint because, let's face it, a month is not a vacation. A month is more of a hiatus or something of that nature, right? But these days, a lot more people are coming because they work online or they are retired or they just pretty much have it like that and they can work from abroad. So they are able to work from here. And so a lot of people are coming here full term. Some people aren't even working any longer because they're selling their places. They made their money on crypto and now they are living their life out in the Caribbean. So remember, even if a place is not Airbnb-able, so to speak, you can still buy the condo and rent it out at longer stints. So again, don't be discouraged. Just make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. Now, I do have a few properties for Airbnb. Those are not a dime a dozen, but they are a little more reasonably priced because some of them that are Airbnb-able, the owners themselves, they are not renting them out themselves. They live in like America and Canada, and they're really not looking to be here and run it themselves. Not only that, some of them don't even want to deal with tenants. So what they do is they let someone like yourself who is interested in an Airbnb business for a passive income to take over everything. So they ask for a few things, the owners that I work with. They ask for a few things for you to take care of the property. And when you return the keys, you return it the exact same way as you got it. Now, most people that I know return it even better because they fix it up. They paint it up and they do different things to it. I always come across apartments every now and again. So right now I do have a few in my back pocket, and a lot of people are contacting me about it, and how you can get an Airbnb from me, Airbnb-able apartment from me, is there's different things. So like for instance, I get apartments for people, right? When you want an apartment, you can contact me, whether you want that apartment for a month or for a year or any time in between. What you do to hold that apartment is you send me your deposit, and then you tell me what day you want that apartment for. And if it's available for the time that you come, that apartment will be held for you. Now, let's say you send me the deposit in December and you're not coming until March. Well, that means that you put the deposit for March. If the apartment is empty, then a person can rent it from December to March. But that apartment will be available for you when you come. Now, if you change your mind, the deposit is not refundable, because you have to remember, you are telling the owner that you want that apartment for that time. So the owner, if they're on Airbnb, or if they have the opportunity to rent out that apartment for a year and you decide you don't want it, then there you go. That means the owner or the landlord is missing out on that money, because they really trusted that you were going to take it for the allotted time that you promised. Okay, so that is one way where you will get apartments from me. Now, the Airbnbs work a little bit differently, as you could imagine. You need to send your deposit 100%, but you cannot hold it for that long. You have to make sure that you dedicate it, time to it, and you have to get it right away. Otherwise, somebody else is going to snag that from you. Now, you can definitely put a deposit on it when the next person gets it, because a person may contact me and say, Cerise, I want that Airbnb, I want that apartment, but I want to Airbnb it, which means they're going to take over it immediately. That means they're going to send the deposit, and they're also going to send the first month's rent, and they're also going to make an agreement that they're going to take the apartment for 6 months to a year. Now, what happens then? I have no control if they raise the rent. I have no control at all if they decide that they want to make that apartment $1,000. It's up to them. It's now their apartment. Let's see, I have an apartment for a sublease, and you contact me, and let's say it's a little fixer-upper, like the one that I put up today. It's a little fixer-upper, and you're like, you know what? Like, let's say you're not going to be in the Dominican Republic for about a month, but you know that it's a really good deal. Well, you do have to send your first month's rent and your last month's, your deposit and your first month's rent to be able to hold it as your Airbnb. Because if I put someone else in that apartment, we cannot raise the rent on them. You get what I mean? Like, and you also, it doesn't make sense for you to take it over as an Airbnb, because you won't be able to rent it out daily, especially if that person takes it for 4 or 5 months. But what you can do is say to me, okay, Cerise, how long is that person taking the apartment for? Because I still want it. And I will send a deposit for it for when that person is out of it. You know what I mean? So let's say I get a call from someone who doesn't want to Airbnb it, and they take it for 4 months, and I give it to them for 4 months. Then you can get first dibs on it if you send your deposit to have it as an Airbnb 4 months from now. I hope I'm making sense here to you guys. It's just talking a lot of supposing and everything like that, but I do want to make sense. I do want to make sense because, you know, I do want you guys to be able to make this passive income. Okay, so now let's say you do get the apartment, the Airbnb, and you're just like, you want to get in there, but you can't come here. I can help you out. I can help you by going and getting a few things for you. You can send me the money through the internet. And what I would do is I would go and I would price things for you. So let me give you an example. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine today on the phone, and her and I were pricing out a condominium that is in Cabarete. And, you know, we were talking about a condominium that is available, and the guy just bought it over, and he needs to now fix it up. So it came furnished, but he has like a microwave, he has beds and everything like that, but he does not have lamps, he does not have pillows, he does not have sheets, he does not have towels, he does not have a garbage can for his bathroom and for the bedrooms, he does not have patio furniture, and he also doesn't have utensils, he also doesn't have dishes and little carpets that he can put down and art for the wall and hand sanitizer, little specific things that you need to do Airbnb with. And he won't be here for a while still. So what he's going to be doing is sending money for myself or for my friend to go out and buy these items. Now, because he has a super duper beautiful brand new apartment, he wants everything top of the line. And he wants everything to be bought, like nice thick towels. And because his apartment is on the beach, he's going to want beach towels, and he's going to want a lot. So let me give you an example. Let's say you get the Airbnb and it needs to be fixed up. Some of them you don't need to fix up at all, but some of them you do. Again, the one that I put up today, it does need a little bit of fixing up, but you're renting it at $750 a month, let's say. You can let it go for about $75 a night because it's a 2-bedroom right downtown Sosua, right? And you don't even need to put anything up. You just take down the wallpaper, put a coat of paint on the wall, give it a little accent wall, and you're good to go. I just want you to know that. But some people that rent that, they're going to want to go in there and add little touches, but you don't have to. There are some places where you will have to, because you may just be like, well, you know what? It's in a beautiful area. It's right downtown, and the couch is a little dated, and I just want to go in there and just root everything up. It all depends on your budget. And so then you would just contact me, and, we would go in there. Now, I'm not always available to go do stuff like that. So I have people around me who will be able to go and do it as well. Sheets and towels and lamps and dishes and utensils, if you need all that bought. And also anything else that you would require, whether it's cushions for couches or even like patio furniture, a couple of plants, a little bit of art. All these things can be purchased, and you don't even have to be here. All you have to do is send the money. The receipts for the purchase will be sent back to you, and everything. So, and any money that's not spent will also be sent back to you. Okay? So anything you need, whether it is hand towels, hand sanitizer, whether it, like I said, anything at all for your apartment, and you cannot put it together because you're not here, but you want to get started on your Airbnb business and get that passive income as soon as you can, it is possible. So don't be discouraged if you're like, oh my gosh, there's a great Airbnb opportunity, but you're not going to be here until December and it's September. But you want to get it. You don't want to have it just sit there month after month after month if you know it needs to be fixed up, right? So that's another option. Like I said, you just send the money, items can be bought, and bam, you have yourself a wonderful Airbnb making passive income before you even get here. Okay? So don't be discouraged. Don't worry about buying a property that is not Airbnb-able, because again, you can rent it out. I have a friend that just bought an Airbnb in Santo Domingo. Just bought a condo in Santo Domingo, a beautiful condo. And in that building, it's not Airbnb-able. Nobody can rent it out on Airbnb because it is a very exclusive building, high luxury. And it is only 5 apartments. There's 2 apartments on the main floor, 2 apartments on the middle floor, and then a beautiful penthouse on the top. And the people don't want Airbnb clients going in and out. They just want to make sure that they all live in the same building together and they know who's coming and going. So he made an agreement with the seller of the building that he would rent it out to somebody full term. So at like a year lease at a time. And that's it. So now, even though he bought his condo for $50,000 and it's beautiful and he got it at a really good price, he's going to be renting that out for $1,000 a month. And that's not including the electricity or anything of that nature. He fully furnished it, so it's gorgeous. And he's going to be renting that out at $1,000 a month, and he's going to make his $1,000. They're going to pay their own electricity, but they already paid up for the entire year. So he's just sitting back and it's all gravy for him. He has his one-time client for the whole year. Now, if that client moves out, that's totally up to them. They are not getting their year rent back, but it's up to him because, he can work with them on that. Nevertheless, another client may choose to move in. You get what I mean? So this is really what is happening right now. There are places where you can still buy and rent it out monthly or yearly, stuff of that nature. So don't fret. Don't become discouraged. It's totally all right. Don't allow your friends to tell you anything about what's going on if they're not doing something themselves. Okay? And guys, I just want to tell you, from time to time, I do come across some real zingers in regards to it needing nothing at all to be put in order and for you to just start moving and grooving. And you can do self-check-in, self-checkout, and put it up on Airbnb, and it's yours and you're good to go. And then there's some that I come across where you may have to do a little paint job, do an accent wall or what have you. And I can get someone in there to do that for you, no problem. Especially if it's only painting, especially if it's only putting down a few carpets, like little area rugs, little things like that. Especially if it's just getting you a few chairs for the patio or for the backyard, or getting you a barbecue or anything of that nature. Anything can be done because this is the Dominican Republic and it is the #1 destination in the Caribbean overall, hands down, and it has been for years. So that means this island is equipped to take people in and have places rented out at a shorter amount of time than what they would be in, let's say, Canada, where I'm from, or America, or Germany, or wherever you're from, right? There are a lot of high turnovers here. So people are equipped, they're experienced, and they are ready to take on a client that may have to leave. Like, you may come with the full intention on staying for a whole year, and something happens in the country that you came from and you have to go back for an emergency, or you just decide that the Dominican Republic's not for you right now. Maybe you run out of money, or maybe it's just that you prefer to go home because you get homesick for whatever reason, right? People change their minds. So that's why we are always prepared here for the unknown, and we're always prepared here for anything else. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Cerise. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, because you will be notified when I upload other videos. I upload randomly. Sometimes I upload story time, which is quite interesting. Please check out that playlist. And then sometimes I just upload updates on Sosua, and I always have random topics on Sundays when I do my live to airs. And also, please, if you are here in the Dominican Republic area on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., I have my own talk show. Yeah, on television, on local television. It is pretty cool because it is geared towards foreigners, and we talk about real estate, we talk about relocation, we talk a little bit about tradition and the culture and the people here, and we also bring on expats and visitors, people living here, people who left the country that they lived in to come start businesses here, or just to work here, or just to live here and relax for the rest of their lives. It's amazing, and we never know who we're going to have on from week to week. Now, if you're not here in the area, you can still catch the show. You can catch it on Facebook live. It is a great way for you to feel like you're right here with us in the Dominican Republic. So if you can just go to my Facebook page It's open. I always leave a link on my Facebook page, so you can just go that Wednesday and you click on the link and it will take you straight to the Costa Norte page where it is aired live. And if you like, you can even follow them on Facebook because it is a page. And as soon as I go live, you will get a notification as long as you are following them. And they also have a lot of other videos as well, a lot of other shows as well. And the shows are on way different topics as well. Some of them are about news. Most of them, all of them, I should say, are Spanish. So if you're looking to top up your Spanish, it's a great way to do that. A wonderful way to hear the Dominican Spanish. And again, it's live. So another thing, I have an opportunity for you business owners. Speaking about my show, it's called Living Good. You can advertise with Living Good. Living Good, it is a great opportunity for you business owners because we advertise internationally. We realize, okay, and when this came to me, this idea came to me, I was so excited because I'm like, a lot of you guys come here. A lot of you guys have businesses from around the world. And a lot of you guys can send products all around the world. Some of you guys offer consultation services on a variety of different topics and services. And so that means that you can offer those online. Like I offer consultations on relocation online here. So if you have a business and you know that you can send products or you can offer a service, please consider getting advertising on Living Good because we promote internationally on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on WhatsApp, and of course, on regular local television. Guys, I'm so glad that you joined me for this video. I hope I gave you a lot of information that you've been asking about, and I look forward to hearing from you. My number's on the screen. My information is down below as well. Please share this video with anybody who you know is interested in getting an Airbnb, buying property, or simply getting a condo and just letting it sit because it's somewhere they want to come to and enjoy while they're in the Dominican Republic or somewhere they want to return to and retire in. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Huge hugs, loads of love, and big blesses.
Hola, I'm Domingo. Welcome to Smiling.
Smiley's is an advertiser on Living Good, one of the best bars in Sosua. Smiley's offers great service, fun people, wonderful expats, and an opportunity for you to go and meet people and socialize. I love going here for all the events that they have. And look at that, even free Spanish and a lot of dancing. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Just a reminder that I provide consultations for relocation, and if you're looking for any other services, just give me a shout because I'm sure I can help you out. Have a wonderful day.